Hey guys, TJ Simmons here with Shield Insurance. I am an insurance agent, but also a real estate investor. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like. I wanted to talk to you about a phone call I just had. It was about a 30-minute conversation with a guy who was looking to get out of wholesaling and into fix and flipping. His goal was to use hard money lending, and he was going to buy the property, have it for a very short amount of time, do the work to flip it, and then sell it. I told him, with my knowledge on interest rates and real estate and everything going on in the world right now, that I would actually suggest not selling it. I would suggest doing the BRRRR method currently, because right now, what you can do, if you have a W-2 to get a bank loan, that is a big thing that, with what I'm about to tell you, is pretty important, that you are able to get approved for a loan. But let's walk through the situation here. So let's say you buy a house with hard money. The house is for sale for $100,000, and you need about $20,000 worth of improvements. So you need a hard money loan of $120,000. You fix it up and you finish it and you want to sell it, and it's worth about $190,000. Now, instead, at this point, the difference between fix and flip and sell versus BRRRR is you would actually get a tenant in there. And so you want to get a tenant in there and you want to get a signed lease for 12 months. And this is going to give you more income for the property itself. So you've done two things to the property now. You've generated more income from having a monthly revenue. And then you have appreciated the value of the property based on the renovations that you've done from when you purchased it. And so if you're smart, you also evaluated the area that you bought the property in. You realize that the current homes are selling for a lot more than what it was for sale for. And so not only did you buy it at a discount, but now you made it worth way more as well. And so you are sitting in two good spots to go to a bank and say, look, this property is worth more and it's making this money monthly. And then they would be interested in giving you a loan. Now, this is where the really cool thing is about owning it and keeping it as a rental versus selling it at this point. And so when you sell it, if you were to just sell it, you would sell it, you'd get the money, you pay off your hard money lender. So you'd pay off the $120,000, and then you sold it for $190,000, so you get to keep the difference. And then you just have the difference. That's the end of this entire project, is you get the difference of the sale. So what is that? $70,000. So you leave with $70,000. Now, what if I told you that you could leave with $50,000, a house, and monthly income from the tenants? So that's what I suggested this guy to do. I said, why don't you, instead of selling it, why don't you go to a bank with those two information? Now, remember the part where you have to get approved. You have to be able to, get approved for the loan. And now you get a loan for the value of the home and including the rental income as well. So it's actually, with the rental income, you get the house to be worth $210,000. And so then you go to a banker and you're allowed to get a loan for probably up to like 75 to 85% of that. And so you get a loan for what, $180,000. You pay off the hard money lender, $120,000. You have $50,000, $60,000 left, and you have a house, and you have a tenant, and you have an appreciating asset. And so that is what I suggested this guy to do. At first he was like, well, see, I don't have the money to do that. Like, I need the big chunks of change. And it's like, yeah, but you can get the big chunk of change from the bank to go do the next deal. And you can keep the asset. And so the best part about all of that is right now, with the way that the interest rates are going, they're going to keep rising, right? And so I've heard some economists say that you're going to see interest rates continue to rise. It's going to go to 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. We could see over 10% interest rates in the next 5 years. That's what I've been told. I work in the real estate financial industry daily as an insurance agent. And so I'm hearing a lot of these types of things. So I'm not saying that's like a positive thing that's going to happen. It's just something that I have heard. So if you can lock yourself in on a bank loan at 7% right now, or even 5.5%, 6%, versus, because you're hedging, right? So if you are able to lock that in on this one property rather than selling it, you're going to be very happy with yourself because you have a locked in fixed interest rate, low, sub 10%, and you have a cash flowing appreciating asset. So yes, interest rates are going up. We can't stop it. We're young, so we're not really that used to it, but some people have seen 12%, 16%, 18% interest rates, and they lived through it, And so I think the smart thing as us investors can do is we can hold those mortgages on the fixed rate at the low interest rate, and you're going to be really happy. So I just thought I'd make a quick video about that. I don't even know if all of this is, I'm pretty confident that all of this is pretty accurate. But like I said, I'm not a mortgage lender. I'm not a banker. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm just an insurance professional who is also a real estate investor who is a nerd about this stuff. And so I thought that this was valuable. He said that that was extremely valuable, and he said he's seriously going to consider it. One thing that was his issue is that the monthly rent that he could produce from that property wasn't enough to cover that loan. And so it wasn't cash flowing. And so I get that that's an issue, but if you were to look at it from a bigger scale rather than just one property, if you were to take that loan and that $50,000 that you got extra to go put into the next property, and you were to take those two properties together and you were to see where you were at with the cash flow, that's where I told him, if you look at the bigger picture versus just a one property, it might still make sense. But there is a possibility that, you know, if you're only able to get $450 a month from this one bedroom house and you have this large $1,900 a month payment on the loan, there might be some issues there with your cash flow. So keep that in mind. Obviously, you got to do all of your numbers to make sure that you're correct. Rentometer is a really good way to do that. And then I know Zillow is not gold. PropStream is also a really good device to use to check those out. But Rentometer will tell you, you know, what you can get for that area on an average, and then you can take those numbers and put them into, you know, what you're looking at on your monthly payment on the loan you get from the bank, and then what you could potentially produce from that extra income you get from that loan, and kind of put it together to see if you're cash flowing. So I hope you found this valuable. I'm sorry if you wasted your time, but he was just like, you just changed my life with this information. I'm like, hey man, I'm a nerd, and this stuff is really interesting to me. And so if I can even just help one person, I'm happy about it. So I figured I'd jump on a little video and recap the call and put it up on YouTube for others to see. So if you like this, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.